Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mystic Singularity series. This time for me and Atsoka here, it's gonna be number 4. I, of course, am Edu, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, as we always are here. Atsoka, how you feeling today?
Very, very excited. Honestly, just because I remember a few weeks back, we're on the Bird app, and we're looking through social media right after the end of the last Singularity series, and we had a vote whether or not we should run them back again, another Valorant Singularity series. You know what my vote was for, and we got the job done. So here we are back again for more Valorant on the Singularity series. So yes, I am feeling quite swell today.
Yeah, same here. I also voted yes for this because it's always a blast to cast the Singularity series here. And today it is going to be brought to us by the wonderful org itself, Mystic Events and Team Mystic themselves. So thank you guys for allowing us to be here, not only as casters, but also for the players here. And talking about those players, it's going to be 99Strength versus Rose. And I believe we're going to be starting off on the map of Lotus, which we don't really get a lot of opportunities to cast Lotus nowadays, especially since it is one of those newer maps. But I gotta ask you, Atsoka, we watched 99Strength last time at the Singularity series number 3. How is it to feel to see them again here at number 4?
Now, you see, this is going to be interesting just because, like you had said, this is one of the top formidable teams in the Singularity series that we've got to see, especially, just in the bubble scene in general. We always talk about 99Strength, but when we're going on to Lotus, a map that has yet to be perfected, the meta really has yet to be established, even though we did get some good insights. As a matter of fact, throughout this series, you're gonna hear Captain come with a few spicy takes on this particular map. But I think if there's ever a time to try and get one over on 99Strength, it is going to be on Lotus. However, if 99Strength can come through and actually get the dub on this map, then I think they're going to put themselves back into somewhat of their former glory.
Yeah, 99Strength, they definitely performed well. And if you guys wanted to know some of the players that we actually have here, if you take a look at 99Strength side, we got Nerve, Sharky, Pancakes, Icy, and Typhoon. And these guys we've seen in their careers, they have been bolstering themselves to be some of the best pro players in the tier 2 scene here for quite some time. And of course, if we take a look over on Rose, you can expect to see Psy, Chubsta, Procto, Gary, and I'm Gabriel. So these guys also have been really inching their way towards that T1 bracket, hopefully to get signed soon after franchising. It is a wild, wild west out there, but obviously these players are ready to really prove themselves today, and this is going to be a pretty quite impressive show of a skill here. And let's find out what maps that's actually going to be performed on. So let's take a look here. I know that we're starting on Lotus, but I want to know what they banned, what their thought process was here.
Okay, and I told you I was going to come with some spicy hot takes. Well, guess what? Here they come. Okay, first of all, we're looking at the bans. Immediately banning Haven. That is interesting to me. What isn't interesting to me is the fact that they banned Split. Yes, get it out, be gone with you. I'm sorry. Split can go, Pearl can go, Fracture can go. So great bans all around, and I'm loving the picks as well. I love having game number 1 on Lotus, somewhat of a curveball, somewhat of a wild card. But before we go into Lotus, it must be stated that Mound is the meta. Whoever will take the Mound in Lotus will take the victory. Next, we're heading to Icebox, my number 1 favorite map in Valorant. It's going to remain answered for itself. Once we get in the Icebox, we're all familiar. Icebox speaks for itself. And then finally, for the decider, we have Ascent. This is the neutral party. This is the default map, and it is the best decider because there's no if, ands, or buts about it. It's all fair and all square on Ascent. So for the picks and bans, I am actually really pleased.
Yeah, I do like seeing newer maps here, especially Icebox and Lotus back to back being a strange pick for sure. And having the decider on Ascent, no matter what happens, I'm assuming because of the strength of these two teams, because of how we've seen them compete in the past, that it will most likely get to a game 3, especially because we don't really know how Lotus or Icebox is going to be able to be played out. This is, of course, the picks and the bans for certain players here. And if I'm taking a look at it, it looks like the side of Rose is the one that actually wanted Lotus here, while 99Strength wanted Icebox. So I'm thinking that if Rose here is very confident in their Lotus for being its first map pick, they might be able to just absolutely pop off here. But of course, Rose is going to be the CT side for a majority of today, and they are going to be on that counter-terrorist, or not counter-terrorist, that defense side for a long time. Sorry, CT, it always confuses me. But now, with that being said, I need to see how they're actually going to be able to compete, because 99Strength is historically known for a team that will be able to just push these players back here.
And you know what? I can't help but agree. We're looking at the way that this map pick and ban is really like playing out. And then Lotus is like the only real wild card. If you're looking at Icebox and Ascent, more often than not, these are like pretty acknowledged maps. Like both of these teams have plenty of time, plenty of practice on those maps. Lotus is the only one that's still relatively new. Although with that being said, there is a little bit more method to the madness that is on Lotus. I know it looks a little hectic right now. It looks a little crazy, but there have been some strategies formulated. For example, Haven is a map defensively. When you play on it on the defensive side, it's all about the retake. You allow the plant to go down and then you play retake. On Lotus, absolutely not. This is a no-go, bad, boo-boo rule. You do not play for retake on Lotus except on the B site. That is the only site you can give up freely, because with Lotus, and again, if I'm capping, say captain's capping, but this is going to be one of my hot takes of the day, planting on the C site on Lotus is the hardest retake in Valorant, and I am going to state it now, and if anybody wants to check me, by all means do so, because I need to learn. But for right now, the C site on Lotus has the hardest retake on any site in Valorant.
Yeah, they definitely have a pretty tough site here to take. But honestly, I think that the main point of Lotus, yes, C site is a pain in the butt to retake because, that mound headshot angle that can absolutely crush any dream of defusing the bomb. I'm looking at A site here that plays around tree. It's a lot more team heavy and a lot less one person having to now hold a pretty tight angle. So anything's really possible. I'm hoping that on this map, we're going to see more sites like B and A get hit, but obviously C is the meta, as you pointed out there at Soka. So with that being said, I need to see what they're going to be bringing to really anchor that meta site down, and it is going to be the KJ I'm seeing instantly locked by both sides here. That definitely helps with this.
Oh, 100%. And you're looking here and it's nearly a mirror matchup, with the exception, of course, you see at least coming from the side of Rose, they're going to be bringing that double duelist composition. Meanwhile, on the other side for 99 strength, they're coming with the double initiator meta, which has been the meta for quite some time right now. So when we're talking about Lotus, this is going to be rather interesting because I think honestly the initiator does go a little bit extra way because there are so many small corridors, there's so many angles, so many tight corners, which is where Breach can thrive. And if you can double down on that with another initiator who not only can blind and stun but can also heal, I can't help but think that their composition might have an upper hand.
Yeah, and upper hands in a composition is always something that people look for. I'm looking at that Neon though. Neon will be able to just be so aggressive on this map.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Neon on Haven. The fact that there are 3 sites that are pretty far away from each other, those quick rotations might make or break the side of 99 strength here. So obviously though, I want to see what's going to happen as we are going to be inching our way forward. But first off, we need to be following our wonderful observer, Ulysses, here as we have the pistol round getting underway.
Yeah, that we do. And meanwhile, you could see that it looks as though the spike is going to be heading towards this B site, which again this is going to be a difficult site to plant on, being that there's just so many avenues to entry here. But they're going to back off, and now they're going to be heading towards C.
Yeah, they're going to be heading right into C here, and it's Pancakes bringing the pain right off the bat, but the Shorty doubling it up and getting a double kill down. That is going to be the spike as well in water. I'm Gabriel, already good for 1. 3 against 3, and they have to really pick up the pace. Typhoon looking for the dog to bite down hard, but unfortunately, these attackers are kind of getting forced back, leaving only Gabriel, and that nade plus the wall bang's just going to end him easily. Defense already proving that, yes, C-Site is hard to retake, but you first have to take it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the whole point with C, is that you don't allow the retake. Normally, when you're looking at a 3-site map, much like Haven, you play for the retake, not on Lotus. That's exactly why they lock down C immediately. As soon as they saw that quick rotation coming from the Neon, much like you had stated before we jumped in, that quick rotation did come underway. And as soon as it did, it was met with full force coming from 99 strength. And they didn't even allow the spike to make it on site.
Yeah, they did not allow that site to get even close to it. Stuck in the back of the site, but look at this. It's Icy being aggro, able to grab Practo, looking for another, and he's going to just keep swinging it down. And this aggressive push-up from the defense is proving vital, doubling it up. It's Typhoon, like a tsunami, just going right over them. And here is just 2 remaining. It's the Duelist, the Raze, and the Neon trying to clutch it. There's not a lot of time.
Really no big surprise here, flawless victory. GG's all around the 99 strength. But that's usually how the script goes. You take round 1, more often than not, you're going to take round 2. This is where things get interesting. As we all know, round 3, the bonus round for 99 strength, and of course the rifle round coming from the side of Rose. So this is where we really get to see how the tone of this entire map is going to go. Is it going to be a back and forth tug of war, or will 99 strength be able to get this bonus round and give themselves a substantial lead in economy early?
Yeah, if they can manage to take this bonus round, they're definitely going to be happy about that. They'll be rolling in the dough, but looking at Chubsta already off the bat, kind of just bouncing around. But these blinds from the Breach coming up massive here. Everybody's getting gunned down, and this is the round that the bonus needs to be won, and the defense is doing a clean job securing it. I'm Gabriel, now last player to be standing, but watch out behind you. You're going to have to watch it. He's just taking his time. He's taking these pot shots, swinging around, trying to just win that aim, but Nerve right behind, just struck a Nerve, back of the head. It's going to get gunned down, and that is defense bonus round.
Bomb grenade out.
That was such a huge round, and not only were they able to come through with the bonus round, but you got to keep in mind they got the eliminations all in the same spot, which was a full rifle buy. So now the side of 99 strength does not have to buy this round. They literally picked up every rifle coming from Rose. So not only were they able to win that bonus round, they didn't even have to buy up for it. They literally just picked up free weapons off the ground. And after that round, what we saw with the blinds, with the util coming out, I think it just goes to show that this is the map for Breach. When we talk about initiators, more often than not, we like to pair them with certain maps. For Ascent, I like to pair them with the KO. But I think Lotus goes perfectly paired hand in hand for Breach.
Yeah, Breach and Raze has always been a powerful combo no matter what, and seeing how they're able to just duel that down, but this stack, 99 Strength, has left C to be completely open here, and this is finally an advantage for these attackers if they can just manage to get that bomb planted, but the Omen is getting a little bit late, and these defenders are able to set themselves up. Practo on the site needs to start planning that spike, and Icy with the rest of their team is about to entry into some cruel damage. And there's one, there's another, and that is a lot of bullets. What a round. Defense undefeated so far.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they still did not allow the spike to get planted on the C. It seemed as though that the advantage was going the way of Rose, but they could never get the spike down, and they're not going to get the advantage on C until the spike can get planted. So this is why you see such an aggressive defense coming from 99 Strength, because they refuse to allow the spike to get planted on C, or even on A for that matter. Notice there hasn't been a lot of traffic towards A, and whenever there is, it's immediately gunned down by the Breach. Breach currently there right now for 99 Strength, keeping an eye on that angle. As you can see, as we head into round number 5, the spike is set up for that C site.
Yeah, Spite, I think always is going to want to go to C early. They've managed to actually touch the site for the first time here on C last round, so maybe they might be able to do it again. But in the past few rounds, they've just been getting gunned down A main. What an unfortunate circumstance not being able to take out that Sky. Gary the Snail right around it, but this is a very aggressive showstopper, forcing Icy to get in there. Will not actually be able to get that pick early, but they're still trying their best. Here's Gary the Snail, still making some noise, but this round seems to be just default after default at Soka.
Yeah, that it is. And, you know, and that's the thing that's really interesting also about B. I know, like, I have put a lot of focus on the C site, but the thing about B is that it's the exact opposite of the C site. It's easy to plant and easy to retake. So that's the real problem with going to B. If anything, you use B to rotate between the A and C sites. Meanwhile, you have Rose Chupsta able to run through and get a quick pick there.
And wow, getting another, it's going to be Gary the Snail. Right around, it's Sharky though, lurking in the water, doing some damage, only able to bite one victim down. Pancakes will get the trade, get himself to high ground, but he is still down some players. 2 versus 3 is going to be the retake here, and luckily it is a retake site that might be doable. They just have to inch their way through from the side. Pancakes locking eyes on the wrong side of sight, and that is going to be a double down. Finally, we see Roast on the board. 4-1 is the score, and I think maybe they might be able to keep this momentum going, but I need to see how they're going to be able to play out this round here.
Yeah, again, it's going to be tough, and honestly, A is a fantastic avenue, especially if you can take control of tree, and that's what happened. They were able to go tree over there towards A, and when you have that wall behind you, you get a notification anytime someone's trying to flank. You can hear the wall begin to move. So really, the only way that you can even try and get a defuse or a retake is you have to wall off that entry to A. It is the only way you're going to be able to get that done. So let's see now if it will be Rose who can get things done here in round 6.
Hi! I'm pissed!
And Rose might be able to, using an ultimate to get him in. It's the overdrive running it down, but speaking of running it down, Icy and Sharky pushing a little bit far here. A lot of aggro outside of C Mound, and unfortunately it is going to be the death of them. This is now a full rotate over towards the B for mid, as they've already gotten 2 picks. Unfortunately, they did lose their Neon, but they don't really need that Neon since they've already secured the site, and they just have to manage to hold this down against a moderate buy round here from the defense. But what a spray! Pancakes coming up large with the double down, and it's a 2v2. This is anybody's game here.
Yep, that it is. Meanwhile, you do have the showstopper coming out, and honestly, I'm surprised Pancakes wasn't able to get a 3-piece, and good thing they were gunned down before, because now it's going to be a 2v1 in the favor for Rose, and this could eventually cut the lead in half for 99 Strength.
Yeah, they might be able to cut it in half here, but looks like they're also getting their blinds out, and that will be able to buy a little bit of time for them. Rose looking pretty clean, as they've already managed to make this a 1v2, and that bomb is ticking away, and unfortunately there's nothing he can do. Attack will be able to secure another round back-to-back, but that was an eco-ish round for the defense, so it's going to be full buys versus full buys with a lot of ults on the board here.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, it's looking quite fantastic. I mean, you see the scoreboard, and you see it's a 2-round lead so far for 99 Strength, but I don't even think that does it justice. You really have to look at the stat line to see how how close these matches actually are. I mean, you're looking right now at the economy, and normally you would think that 99 Strength with 2 rounds in the bag, they would at least be able to have some insurance. But no, this is going to be their last full buy if they go down in this round. So this is somewhat of a must-win round here for the side of 99 Strength if they want to keep their lead.
Yeah, that is a big if, but that rolling thunder's gonna be pushing these players off, and Practo from behind teleports and gets the flank down, taking out Nerve. This is a beautiful C take here, and now they have that retake power, the thing that everyone fears. It's Mound, but they actually push them all up. Unfortunately, the bomb will still get planted here. They have to now just run it down. Flashbang it out isn't going to blind him. And there is the attack KJ to buy even more time. But this is so many ultimates to invest here. And it might just be worth it, though.
I mean, at the end of the day, Mound is meta. The retake is done. As soon as the spike got planted, it was all dunzo magunzo. And you know, I hate to use such cringy language, but I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, as soon as that spike went down, you even saw that 99 Strength tried coming in with the Rolling Thunder just to negate the plant. They ulted just to make sure the spike didn't go down. And once the spike was down, they had already invested the ult, and it was pretty much all set and done. As now it will be Rose to come through and answer back here in round 7.
Wow, I mean, being able to just answer that back and taking these rounds here, they honestly could tie this up 4-4, 4 for one side, 4 for another, back and forth is seeming how we're going to be watching this. And, you know, at this point, I'm expecting a timeout soon if they win that 4 in a row, because this defense team, they've lost the mojo once these attackers have gotten rifles in their hands. And, you know, my question, Atsuko, what do you think 99 Strength needs to do to really cement themselves back in that momentum they built?
Save. I mean, you got to give around to get around. This is the round that you give, because right now, if you're going to try and go half cocked with this type of buy, it's a forced buy. I don't think they're going to give you enough in return. I don't think the return investment on this buy is going to be what 99 Strength is looking for. I really think they should have saved here.
Yeah, they definitely might want to try to fix their economy, because risking it all, especially giving up C, I'm surprised they haven't stacked C at all, because I think if they just were to do a buy like this, they should be positioning themselves for it, but they're only positioning themselves to get gunned down. Psy manages to strafe around, still staying alive and looking for more, but Pancakes there with the pick. Sharky on the flank, and Mound looking to make a mound of dead bodies right around here, and defense Nerve is going to be popping up the ultimate here, but Sharky has to buy that time. Still stunned, and manages to take another one out with the Bulldog. And another one. They're actually sticking the bomb, and Practo, he practically can't do anything. That is defense taking it back. You said save. They said watch this, hold my beer.
I ain't gonna lie, they really popped off on that one, but I'm not entirely surprised. They played and executed the retake perfectly, which is so hard to do on C. And you know what? I think a lot of that credit definitely goes to Sharky there, coming in huge with the flank. And again, not idolizing, but utilizing the walls in order to really use the util from Sharky effectively without taking damage. And then not only that, but they were able to keep the defense, or the attackers rather off site by coming through with the KJ ult. So again, they just used their utility perfectly.
Yeah, they're using their util to get themselves where they need to be. Their positioning has been absolutely clean, but I'm looking at how they're going to be able to compete right now, and I'm really kind of curious as to what the attackers can do, since they had to use a lot of ultimates to get that momentum back, and it's far away from that actually being a reality again. So we might see that momentum shifted back in the hands of defense. We still have Pancakes with an ult, 2 away from the showstopper in the hands of Icy. Lots of stuff is just cooking around the corner, but speaking about being around the corner, it's Icy getting the first blood of the round, taking out Practo and needing to now try it again with so much utils, forcing him out of the corner, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to be good for 2.
And you know, that's probably the better trade that you can wish for. Again, they were pushed way far up, so they were in the danger. Is now Pancakes is going to be able to get one on Gary the Snail. And right now, it is looking like the momentum starting to shift much back into the favor of 99 Strength, as they are looking right now at a 4v2. As you can see, I'm Gabriel is already taking the spike over to B.
Yeah, we'll be able to just inch their way back onto
30
that side. But the
seconds
second
left.
they plant it, the second that noise is made, they're about to experience a wave of defenders. So honestly, not
Last
planning
player
on B and
standing.
instead walking into a death trap might be a better play by Psy, as it's just a 1v4. Gabriel here gonna have to channel the inner Archangel here. Gets one well stunned, but can't get two, and that is gonna be another round for defense.
And it was a pretty one-sided venture on the side of 99Strength. They only lost 2, and, you know, here comes that timeout that you had mentioned earlier. We thought it was going to come a little bit sooner, but I guess sooner is better than later. Here we go. We are in the timeout now, coming from the side of Rose.
Yeah, coming from the side of Rose here, they are able to just do the best that they can. But honestly, kind of what I pointed out, they need this timeout to really sit down, focus on, 1, their economy, 2, their ultimate economy. What you need to do if you're wanting to take a map on attack here is have ultimates like the overdrive around the corner. But unfortunately, Chubsta has not been doing the cleanest job picking up those picks, already only using 1 ultimate so far. But at this stage of the half, it's going to be pretty close if he continuously playing like this to actually get that overdrive again. So it's on the backs of Gary DeSnail, Gabriel, and Psy to have those initiation ultimates, the Rolling Thunder, the Lockdown, and that Showstopper to really send them back. But you look at the side of defense, they're fine with ultimates. They got Sharky's Rolling Thunder coming soon. Icy has his Showstopper. Pancakes knows how to relocate. Anything's really possible, but that timeout, what they're telling each other is we got to take a deep breath and take it a little slower here, because when we get aggressive without those ultimates, we're gonna get shut down.
Yeah, and you know, it really has me thinking here too, just because, you know, Lotus is still relatively new, you know, we're still trying to get the math, the percentage, the statistics, so we really don't know for sure how this map favors. Is it defensive sided or offensive sided? Because some days I'll see the offense just absolutely tear through, and on other days it's the defense that ends up winning out. So I'm still, you know, of course, we as a community are still waiting to see where the numbers really fall, but right now I gotta say, it is definitely 99Strength making a case for the defense.
Bomb grenade out.
Wow, I mean, yeah, definitely making a case getting that first Showstopper, but the fact that Psy was able to take very little damage and still get the pick flying over the Showstopper, that's impressive. Ray's diffing for sure, but now they're going to have to prove that that kill is worth it, as Typhoon is going to get the trade finally, but 3 against 4, and Rose Practo is kind of stuck here, waiting for his team to just make the space, but A site has been slowly taken by Gary the Snail, and it's a full rotate over towards A.
Yep, that it is, but at the same time, we see somewhat of a familiar sight here, and that's unfortunately Rose, you know, kind of down in the player count, giving them a slight disadvantage as they do kind of bait out at least 1 plant, but they're going to have to stake it here. As look at this read coming from Gary the Snail, able to avoid the doggo, picks up 1, but does get traded out, and now a huge flank coming from Practo. Will find the flank in order to get 1. Gabriel now has to hold it and picks up the 2-piece to solidify the round win for Rose.
Wow. I mean, that's what you need to be seeing here. Rose able to pick up the pace using whatever they can. That early loss, but still able to pick that up. It was down life advantage, but when the enemies line up perfectly, when the stars align, the bullets fly, and that is what we're going to be seeing from Gabriel there. The Bulldog taking a huge bite down, but these guys need to keep that going, as they already have to now force themselves to tie it up 6-6 if they want an even half here.
Yeah, and I gotta say, that was some fantastic pack hunting coming from the side of Rose in that last round, but now they are still working with a 2-round deficit, and this early elimination coming from Chubsta is going to give them a good start here in round 11.
Wow, clean start, and that's Typhoon able to grab Chubsta and looking for another. They are going to TP away. Lots of ultimates have flown so far, but it's the death in the hands of Sharky that really cements this team to want to take B or A. Looks like it's actually going to be a B hit, because they know the rotates are going to come close from C. This is a free A site, and the retake's going to be pretty hard, especially knowing that Pancakes only has a Spectre and Typhoon doesn't have armor either. So they're going to have to go in with their hero rifles and really just be the quirk players that they are and manage to take the most out of this round.
Look at Garrett a Snail getting a pretty good read on Pancakes, who is able to find the elimination, and now it's going to be all up to the remaining 2 from 99Strength, as once again Garrett a Snail does get the read and picks up yet another elimination, and that's going to be 3 for them.
Wow, free as well. Nerve in a decent position, but 1v4, not the best situation. looks like we do have him trying to save it back in their spawn. We'll be able to, because unless... Wait a second. This KJ might be able to shut him down, but Nerve knows when to stop moving, knows when to anchor it, and Gary the Snail, 8 HP, wants to push that ego, and will, and unfortunately Nerve is going to strike him down, but this is the last round here.
And honestly, this was a fantastic start. It's really not one-sided one way or the other. It's pretty even. And honestly, this could be the opportunity to send us into the second half with a 6-6 split. In the way that we've seen Rose playing so far, I think they could do it.
I really do. I think that both teams here are battling themselves out to prove that they deserve to not only win this game, but also push themselves forward and closer to that Singularity Series number 4 championship title. So I need to see what they're going to be able to do after this game, but now we're seeing it in the game. It's an ultimate. Rolling Thunder might be able to push him back, but Sharky not pushing in with it, only with the Stinger. Their economy not looking too hot, but they're going to have to make it work as it's the last round. And these attackers have fully taken the B point.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I do not like playing on the B side. I think the retake is just too easy. And honestly, look at all the different angles right now that 99Strength was able to work with. And you know, I said it before, and I'll keep standing by it, that the B site just really isn't the site to hit or plant the spike. You really have got to just use that mostly just for rotations and quick transitions.
Yeah, and you know, you were right. It was an easy retake. They were able to just get their foot on the hold there and gun down anybody in sight, regardless of that weapon disadvantage. And I think the main point of that is that the weapons they did choose, the Stingers, the Spectres, and the Bulldogs, are quite quick at the TTK when it is close range like that. So in B site, that's close quarter combat 101. Bring a knife to that gunfight, you'd have better luck. And these guys are able to just keep this going. But I'm looking over at the side now, 7-5 at the half, and the pistol round. You know, question for you, Etsoka. Is it defense side or is it attack sided?
I'll be honest, from my experience, and keep in mind, this is limited information, but from my own preview, from the matches that I've seen, the matches I've played, and of course the matches that I have casted, it is actually attacker-sided. From my experience, that's where the percentage lies. That's where I see the highest win ratio. That remains to be seen, though, until we get some more concrete evidence. That's just what I'm going from my own observation. And as always, if I'm capping, say captain's capping.
You know, honestly, I think attack sided definitely questionable, but will I say that there's a cap on your head right now? Although I see it in the cameras, not going to call you out on it quite yet, but let's see if that attack sided, as you say, comes to fruition. They definitely took it on the defense side though, 7-5. But here it is, a very aggressive push onto B. That is going to be bomb planted right at the rotunda here, as Pancake, close right, is going to try to hold it down with the right click. But no one's really peeking quite yet, and here's the aggression, but Pancake quick to the shot, Psy getting the trade as well, and they get the site for free as long as they can just get Sharky. And they do! It's all up to the sky, 1v5.
Yeah, you know, I said it before, I'll say it again. I do not like the B site if you're trying to plant. Because that's the thing about B site. It's literally the polar opposite of C. C is hard to plant, hard to retake. B is very easy to plant and very easy to retake. I mean, look at it in comparison to every other site. B site is surrounded from every angle, north, south, east, and west. There is literally 4 different entryways, and then once you take it, you're smack dab in the middle, unless you are able to get out immediately. Even in which case that you do, you still don't have a clear sight on the spike that you just planted, so you're not going to be able to get a good sight line to defend it anyway. So B is just sketch city.
Yeah, B is not where you want to be, but I will also point out there, you know, B requires each player to be at least good for 2 when they come to holding down angles, because, you know, you're expecting at least 2 players per entryway, and you're going to be spread pretty thin, and that is why B is not the greatest. So good point there at Soka, but let's see if C is going to be easily taken, or are they going to want to hit that B site? Because fun fact, when they're on second round hitting B, it's supposedly the easiest site to plant. You do guarantee that money from the plant no matter what, and they might be able to just sneak their way through with just 1 or 2 picks, but at the end of the day, the goal here is to just build their economy.
Well, let's see if they can get it done. Meanwhile, I'm Gabriel, just there and waiting to release the utility, but they're going to hold on to it just for a moment as the smokes do go out, and they're going to slow walk this one right over back towards C main. And again, this is pretty interesting considering that the only player is Practo, and they're relying on an Omen to hold down C by themselves.
Well, and there it is. Omen trying to hold down by himself. Nerf is going to do a decent job. Icy bouncing around. We do see Sharky coming up, coming down. That is a triple down already. Could be a road to an ace. Spots, but Nerf shuts it down with the Sheriff. Now it's going to be Nerf's chance to ace his KJ as he's getting yet another triple kill. 2 remaining, 13 seconds on the board. He's going to have to either get some picks or get this down. And unfortunately, he goes down to Chubsta, and defense will tie this up 7-7. But look at this replay. I mean, amazing attempt here.
Oh, absolutely. And then not only that, but they made it a very expensive round for the side of Rose. They were able to get the win. They were able to equalize and all those good things. But they lost 3 players in the crossfire. So that's 3 more buys that they're going to have to come through here in round 15. Meanwhile, that was a full save round coming from the side of 99Strength. So they should have the upper hand in purchasing power as we get ready to get round 15 underway.
Yeah, we're going to have round 15 real nearby as these guys do have the purchase power, as you pointed out, but defense going with that bonus 3 sheriffs in hand. That is exceptionally strange to be bringing 3 sheriffs. I think that they're pretty confident in their play style. They've managed to take 2 rounds back. They managed to bring back the game so far as they were at a 4-round deficit at the start, but it's the rifles in the hands of 99Strength that have to prove to be the strongest weapons in slot. Let's see if this RuneScape players can really duke it out. And what a PK. Icy taken outside and now needing to back it out as this is going to be first blood down from the attack.
Absolutely, and this is where having those extra heals come into play. I mean, look at that. Icy literally one shot, now back into fighting shape, and having that double initiator is just going to make the attack a little bit more easy on them. Meanwhile, you got Chubsta, who's trying to hold down A alone. I'm not sure why the rest of the side of Rose have not begun to rotate, as Chubsta now is still holding A site by themselves and finally is gunned down.
Finally going to be taken down here by Nerve, and this is a clean round. Obviously, the weapon deficit is coming up pretty large, though, as these attackers and defenders are going to have to clash. Sheriffs versus rifles, and already Gabriel will get spot in the back, but it's Practo, who I really need to see come up large here. We've seen Practo's flanks be quite impressive, but with only Sheriffs, they're really just David versus Goliathing it.
Yeah, that they are. And you know what? We talked about this earlier, too, on the A site. Tree. Tree is where you want to go, and Tree is where you are going to get the most effective take on A, which is why A is also a pretty hard site to retake. But with that being said, as soon as you hear that door open, you know there is a flank underway, and all you really have to do is try and util dump Tree as much as you can. Meanwhile, Garrett Snail is just going to take this one out Wild West style with the Sheriff in hand, but eventually will be gunned down, and that is going to be a 1-round lead, now going the way of 99Strength.
Yeah, will be going in the way of them, and that's what they kind of needed. They can't lose the bonus. You know, we saw them last half win their bonus, so that could be a little bit of a difference in the teams here, because I think that, honestly, the side of Rose has a pretty aggressive team composition here with that double duelist, so they definitely needed to perform well on attack, and their post-plant retake might be okay on C, but it's not really looking too hot for their ability to hold the site if this player, Gary the Snail, the carry, and the Killjoy goes down.
Cover going out.
And you see, this is actually the perfect answer right now coming from Rose. They double stacked onto C, which is going to bode well for them. Not only is Practo there, but now you have Gary the Snail. So they are going to try and deny this take coming from the side of 99Strength. But look, the spike already being planted by Pancakes, and now the hard work has already been done.
Hard work's done, but there are the kills being flowed. It is a now double ultimate attack, KJ, and defense, but they will be able to gun it down right in time. That's going to buy a lot of space for these defenders, but what a shot. Gary coming up large. He might be a Snail, but he ain't slow. Double killing it up, and that is a round to go. Amazing tied game here, 8-8 so far.
And again, Gary the Snail absolutely popping off for Rose. They were there from the get-go, and they were there for the retake, leading the way, coming through with massive head clicks and literally locking down C, which is what you have got to do. A fantastic job coming from the side of Rose to even this game up once again, 8-8, but now the upper hand will go to Rose.
Wow, I mean, the fact that the Rose side was just so clean with it, really picking up the pace, doing the damage that they really needed to do, and just proving that this team is going to be here. And at Soka, I'm looking at that score, and I gotta say, you said this was attack-sided, and I'm thinking something different now.
Yeah, you're thinking that, but wait, it's not over just yet. I will admit right now that it is looking pretty good for Rose. But with that being said, we still got plenty of Valorant left to go. They still have to make 5 more rounds in order to get their dub. But also, you're looking at the scoreboard, and it's still even.
Yeah, it is a very close game so far here, but you have to remember 4 of these rounds were just at the start of the game and then got completely tossed to the side. But let's see if they're going to be able to do it again. Typhoon, this time attackers have no money, no funds, and they're going to have to go to a bank for a loan, or they're just going to have to moan here as it is not looking too hot moving forward.
No, this is the one when you have to suck it up and just save. You know, you got to give around to get around. And it looks like they're going to try and go to B just so that way they can get the quick plan off and try and get a little bit more money in their pocket.
Careful there.
Yeah, they might be able to get that money, but it's going to be pretty funny looking at these guys getting gunned down. And that is the end of the round. What just happened? They pushed right into Link and they just become undone like a chain. That's what we need to be seeing, and it is another timeout, this time on the side of attack here.
And again, really no big surprise there, but that's what they needed to do. They had to take an L there. They had to take that one on the chin. Like we had mentioned earlier, you got to get around to get around. And honestly, the full save was the best way to go. You give up that 1 round now, so that way you can try and secure more later. And with that being said, they should have enough purchasing power to come through with a full buy, full rifle round. But what is making me nervous, Practo on the op, which if they go to where they have been, which is C, that is going to take Mound completely away from 99Strength. And Mound is in fact meta here on Lotus. So with that being said, if Practo is going to be setting up on the C site with that op, that is probably going to be the biggest obstacle for the side of 99Strength. All puns intended. I just did that.
You did, and I need to see what these guys can do, as this timeout has a lot riding on the line here. We got an op in the hands of Omen, a strange little purchase there, but we also have full rifles in the hands of the attackers, and we haven't talked a lot about the ultimates we get to see. We saw a few rounds ago with those KJs tossing them down, but now we got the Rolling Thunder, we have the Showstopper for the side of defense, and attack. It's really just on the back of Icy, but he's gonna have to stay chill and stay real calm, cool, and collective as they have to take this back, and he needs to be that entry fragger for their team. And it looks like it's gonna be another B to C split here.
Well, let's see what they can do already. Typhoon going to be sending out the doggo, trying to find anything. Can't see much. And you hear the Showstopper. Audio cue does come through, but everyone cleared out quick, fast, and hurry. And there's the op looking for Mound, but instead you will see Practo gets gunned down.
Practo is going to get gunned down, but Gary does not need a C to bite on the head of Icy. However, Sharky will be able to get the pick, and Typhoon waiting for them to walk into the crosshair. That's a double down. It's all up to Sai, and he's going to be the little ninja, the little dagger in the back of these attackers if he wants to clutch this up. Sai now going forward, knows where the bomb is, but needs to try to clutch this. One footstep will make enough noise, baiting out Sharky to push forward, and it's another one right around the corner. Pancakes knows where this raise is and wants to try to ego it. Just taking pot shots, spots out, will get spotted in the swing. Typhoon flowing, and now it's back-to-back 9-9. This game has been so close here at Soka.
It has, and you know what? I got to break down that last play coming from for 99 Strength, because I don't think we appreciate the real finesse that went into that one. You notice when they lost the previous round, still on the C site, they decided to double down and try and plant spike there again, but what they did is that they went for the B-C split push. So instead of trying to double down on C and go full send, they know that they are going to lock down C. Rose has it on lockdown. They have Practo with the Omen and the Op, and then they have Gary the Snail on the KJ. So what they did is that they made a presence on B to split up their forces and take them out one at a time. They were able to divide and conquer, and then they were able to plant on C.
Yeah, and because this is going to be that semifinals, you have to just see how they're going to be able to actually duke this out. So much is on the line. 99 Strength is the previous champions here at Mystic Singularity Series number 3. There's a lot on the line here, but if you take a look at the Twitch chat, the Rose has such a massive amount of support coming around here, but 99 Strength proving they've already maxed it. They're going for the max cape, and they want to secure another prestige here, but Chubsta is going to get stuck out. Nice stun will slow down Icy as Chubsta will rotate all the way around here.
Yeah, and that's where Neon really does come into play here on Lotus, because a lot of those entry utilities that you see and now even being used in the counterattack just make it that much more difficult to try and stay alive. But Neon, able to GTFO rather quickly, is going to be able to keep that life in their favor and, you know, continue to have this player advantage as now the showstopper comes out and does get one, but the trades are going the way of 99 Strength.
The trades are going to go their way. They even get to plant the bomb for some extra money, and they are looking so clean. I mean, just on the entry alone, they were able to just all walk on through. They know when to take the advantage, and you say B is easy, and they prove that it is. But honestly, everything's possible as long as they're able to get those trades for the ultimates. Because if they can manage to just take out the ult economy at the same time to take out the game's economy, they will not only secure double digits, but they might secure this game.
And you know what? They are starting to kind of, I don't want to say run away with it here, but they are getting a little bit of a bonus in economy. But this could be a huge round coming from the side of Rose. And once again, you can see it's going to be a beat focus, sending out the doggos, but they are going to be eliminated here. And this is going to be somewhat of like a forced fly type of round. But the Neon ult does come through and is able to get one. But will it be enough? No. Nerve with the operator, able to gun down Gary the Snail to secure yet another round win for 99 Strength.
99 Strength, they are the reigning champions, and they're proving why. This is not their map pick. This is something where all the eggs were in the basket of the side of Rose. They wanted to just put this group of flowers at the funeral head here, but unfortunately, locking in Lotus might have been their suicide. They are not looking too hot here in the later rounds, as this game is coming right around the corner. Hopefully, though, with the buys, with Gary the Snail popping off with this Vandal and his ultimate, they might be able to take this back, but it's a big C push here as everybody seems to have stacked on A, leaving only two, Practo and Gary, to really hold down the C site.
Yeah, and not only that, but right now you can see the op in the hands of Nerve, which brings the question, an offensive op is one thing. An offensive op in the hands of KJ, that's completely something different there. But Icy, meanwhile, is trying to hold their own inside the smoke, but eventually will be gunned down as the spike will be planted on C.
Spike is going to get planted down, and now we can tell why they wanted the op in the hands of Nerve. It's post-plant power, and they are bringing it hot as these guys now have to walk into an op to try to defuse the bomb, and they have no smokes to cover them. But here's Chubsta dashing into a stun, gun down. Is that the stun from his own teammate? Typhoon grabbing the pick and able to clean that up. It's attack side getting match point.
Match point.
Okay, well, here we go, but I do think Rose might have just barely enough to make somewhat of a fight here. It's going to be difficult, and again, they're going to have to scrape the bottom of the bargain bin, but they should have at least just enough to put up a decent fight. But with that being said, now that we're looking at things a little bit differently since that 8-8 tie, where are we leaning now as far as attacker or defender side? Like where are we headed?
I think it's 99 Strength side, and I'm sorry, but I think it's the team here. They're just doing such a clean job, because at the start defense had it, but I think what we're noticing here is that the defense gets the rounds in the early round defense sided for sure, because it's a lot easier to hold C with close quarter combat when you're facing off against classics, pistols, shotguns, SMGs. But the second a real rifle can hold down the C site, it becomes attack sided. So I'd say first 4 rounds easily goes to defense. Every other round is the attack side. It's just about how this map plays around the weapons you bring to it, and I think that's what we're seeing here. But we're also seeing this timeout voted by Rose seems to be a little bit late now that match point's on the line here.
Yeah, and I can't help but also point out that we have seen literally just a C push coming from the side of 99Strength time and time again. They might try and bait and switch B and play around a little bit, but more often than not, they do head towards C. But now it looks as though they are going to try and keep that spike more close towards A this time. They might try and bait and switch C this time.
And they might be able to, but that bait and switch is all going to be on the back of the picks. We do have a lot of players on the defense stacking towards this B and C, none at A, which could be their detriment here if that is going to get read by the attackers. But attack is confident in getting these picks early, and that is going to be doubled down. And an ultimate from this Omen. Pancakes right behind him and looking for some picks.
Yeah, that they are. I mean, they have a 4v3 advantage currently in the player count. As you can see, Typhoon sending out the doggo. They see that C is clear, so it's time to get the spike down and start playing a little bit of post plant.
A little bit of post plant here to just work this around. C site looking pretty open for them. Not a lot of options here, but they have to just bring that bomb as fast as possible. Defense only rocking a Stinger, a Spectre, and a Vandal to pick up the pace. Practo with the Spectre and needing to just work this out. Right around the corner, though, it's Nerve with the op, playing like what he can do to win this game is all on the line, but Gary the Snail takes out Pancakes and pops an ultimate here for both sides. It's the KJs forcing him back. Typhoon goes down. This could be winnable, but Nerve with this op is just buying his team some time.
Area's clear.
Yeah, also, you know, that KJ ult definitely was able to buy a little bit time as well. Meanwhile, you do have Nerve. Op does get the shot, and now only one player remaining. Gary the Snail is now finally gunned down, and that will be map number 1 going the way of 99Strength.
Wow. 99Strength desperately taking that back with just blitz. They ran through once they got the groove back in their hands. Obviously, though, shout out to Gary the Snail. They were able to really bring the heat there. 20-18, top of the scoreboard, average combat score, a solid 11 above anybody below them. So you can tell that these guys have definitely performed to their heart's content. But at Soka, that was game 1. That was Rose's map pick. And now that I know that Icebox could be 99Strength's bread and butter, because that is the map they wanted to choose here.
And you know, that's also the map that I wanted to choose. So again, it seems like it's a good day for everybody right now. But I want to really break down a couple of things from that previous matchup. First of all, you were right. Gary the Snail leading the way, 20 eliminations, hands down. But you want to know where I think the real difference maker is here. Look at Sharky. Look at Pancakes. 11 assists for Sharky, 12 for Pancakes. Absolutely insane help from all around on the side of 99Strength. They were getting the job done with elimination participation, again, hitting the smokes, hitting the blinds, and hitting all the util, using that breach so effectively on Lotus. I think really was able to put them ahead, and it only goes to show how good breach is on that map, because you have I'm Gabriel from the side of Rose, who also got 12 assists. But at the end of the day, the more of the assists, the majority of the elimination participation was spread around on the side of 99Strength. Everyone was participating and everyone took part of the plays. And also, last note I would like to make, as far as, you know, the win percentage going into Lotus, got to point out that when we saw Rose on the side of the attack, they were able to submit at least 5 wins on the attacker side. On the defensive side, they only got 4. So they were more successful on attack than they were on defense.
Yeah, you know, that could be how successful they were or how successful 99Strength were, because 99Strength proved that they were just absolutely taking the cake here, cleaning it up. I'm looking at the timeline, and they were just consistently getting those early first bloods. And if you can take first blood on a map like Lotus, it spreads these players thin. It's like Haven. the site that you get taken down first is the site that you're going to usually have to retake here. But obviously, that's our little post-game analytics for you guys. And we now have a map of Icebox right around the corner, but we will see you in 5 minutes here. Just going to do a nice little break. Everybody go grab your snacks because this is just going to heat up even more on a chilly map of Icebox. So hopefully you get your hot cocoa. We're going to have to see you guys in just a little bit.